Welcome to the podcast Whispers of a Soul Shaman. My name is Haley Noah, and I'm a modern-day shamanic practitioner, cacao ceremonialist, and soul purpose expert. I believe that the answers to the bigger and smaller questions in life are already within you. You just need the right tools to uncover them. And that is why in this podcast, I will share what I call soul shamanism, a blend of shamanism, ancient wisdom, practical tools, and modern spirituality to help you connect to your soul, discover your purpose, and remember your inner wisdom. So whether you are here looking for clarity, inspiration, or just a spark to guide your next step, I hope that my whispers may guide you. Now let's dive into today's episode. Well, hello. Welcome back to a new episode. And in this episode, we are going to dive into one of my favorite topics yet again. And it is the soul purpose. Really, when it comes to the realm of the soul and soul shamanism, I really believe that soul purpose is really one of my, specialties. Basically, I'm so passionate about helping people to understand what a soul purpose is and how they can uncover theirs, because this is also how my journey started, right? It was really my search of finding my soul purpose after I left my career as a lawyer that made me so enthusiastic about this topic, and it made me specialize in this, and now makes me whisper in your ear all that I know about this topic. And I guess that my desire to uncover my soul purpose, of course, it came out of me not being aligned with the legal field. But there was something underneath that as well. And that was really this niggling feeling that kept telling me that there must be more to life than what I was experiencing at that moment. I really felt like I wasn't fulfilling my potential, and I felt like there was something more that I had to do, that I wanted to do, that I should be doing. But somehow I just was not able to figure out what that something then was, what that something more was, what I could do to really fulfill that potential that I felt that I had inside of me. And that brought me onto my search. So I want to, in this episode, dive deeper into what it is that a soul purpose is, and how you can start to go on a soul search so you can experience and discover what yours might be. So let's dive in, because I really hope that at the end of this episode, you might realize that your soul purpose has been inside of you all along. And then maybe even after the end of this episode, you know what yours is. So let's get started. And let's get started with that question: what is a soul purpose? Now, in the work that I do, I really focus on soul purpose, not life purpose or purpose, but on soul purpose. I believe that we are all souls who are having this human experience, and before we were born, we chose the life that we are living right now. We chose this body, this time, this country, our circumstances, the people who are in our lives, the challenges that we have, the talents that we have, basically everything that we are experiencing. And with that, we also chose why we decided to come to this earth, what our purpose for being in this life is. I believe that we have multiple lives, and that this means that the purpose that you have in this life can be different from the one that you've had before, or that you might have in the future. So your soul chooses the purpose that it wants in this lifetime, because that is what is going to help you evolve on a soul level. That is a full episode in itself, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But I'm going to leave it with that. The soul wants to experience certain things in its lifetime, and because of that, before you are born, you choose your circumstances. And with that, you also choose your purpose. And that is really your mission in this lifetime. It is how you are going to make your mark. It is about who you are at your core and what makes you unique in how you are going to contribute to this world. So With that, your soul purpose is also going to align with your passions, your talents, and the values that you have in this lifetime. A question I often get is, do you only have one soul purpose? My answer is yes and no. Your soul purpose can variate depending on your area in your life. So the purpose that you want to fulfill in your relationships, for example, does not have to be the same when it comes to your career, for example. So it can vary. In the work that I do, I often see that people are longing to discover their soul purpose when it comes to their careers, when it comes to work. In our lifetime, we have to work, and then it is nice that you can fill your time with something that lights you up, feels meaningful, and that is aligned with why you are here. So that is why when it comes to your career, when it comes to your work life, you will probably have one purpose. Now, this also brings me into a mistake that is often made, a misconception that is out there. And that is that your soul purpose is your job. But that is not the case. Your soul purpose is your mission. It is that what you are here to bring, to be, to share with your energy, a change that you are supposed to make. It is not your job. So it is very unlikely that when you find your soul purpose, that it will be, I am here to be a teacher, or I am here to be a doctor. That is often not the case. Often the soul purpose is not that tangible. It is more, for example, I am here to heal. Well, how are you going to heal? You can do that as a doctor, or as a psychologist, or as a shaman, or as, well, many different ways in which you can do that. But that is why many people get stuck as well. Because when they want to find their soul purpose, they go on LinkedIn and they try to find job titles that might fit what their soul purpose might be. And then maybe even they start job hopping because they hope that their next job is going to be their soul purpose. But chances are that that won't be, and that it will only make you feel more stuck and lost and confused. So it is really good to already get this out of the way, that your job is not your purpose. Your purpose is your purpose. It is your mission. And that is what I always first figure out with my clients. What is your mission? Why are you here? And then the next step is going to be, and how are you then going to bring that to life? If you want to know your purpose, to make that into your career, to turn that into a meaningful job, how are you going to do that then? And that will depend on who you are, what you love, what you value, your talents are, and all of that good stuff. So that is really good for you to know. Another misconception that is out there is that soul purpose is only for some special people. This is not true. Everyone has a soul purpose. So if you think that maybe you don't have one, you can put that aside. You also have a soul purpose. But another misconception, another mistake that people make is that it can then feel that your soul purpose needs to be this giant, grandiose mission, that you need to change the world or go for world peace or something like that. And of course, for some people, that is why they are here, and that is beautiful. But there is also purpose in the smaller things. So it really depends on you. If you are not someone who wants to get on a podium and do all these really big things, and I mean that with all the respect, of course, but we don't all have to be Barack Obama. We also need people who take care of our community and do things in a smaller way. So that can maybe be, put your mind a little bit more to ease, that you know that your purpose can also be found in small and meaningful acts. And they can also be found in big, meaningful acts, if that is what you want. You decide at the end of the day. Your soul purpose is really deeply connected to that what lights you up and makes you feel meaningful. And as the title of this episode says, that it's already closer than you think. You can really see your soul purpose as a golden thread that is running through the fabric of your life. It is always there, even if maybe you haven't noticed it yet. So hopefully that really puts you, well, into a state of ease. Uncovering your soul purpose is not so much about searching far and wide. It is more about turning inwards and reflecting on what already exists within you. And as I mentioned, your soul chose your life and your circumstances and its purpose before you were born. So the experiences that you have in your life, the challenges, but also your passions, they're not random, they're signposts. So the invitation is really to start to analyze your life and start to analyze the things that make you you. Often when my clients find their soul purpose, there are two things that they say. And first thing is that they already knew it. It's really like, deep down, I already knew that this was my purpose. And that makes totally sense because your soul knows what your purpose is. Only you, as the person that you are now, you've simply forgotten. So it is all about remembering. And I want to share a little bit about my own story when it comes to this, because the things that I'm doing in my life right now all make so much sense if I look back at who I was as a young girl, for example. I used to be obsessed with all the things about the soul and about spirituality. From a young age, I already loved personal development and especially Oprah Winfrey. I thought that she was so amazing and so inspiring. And I also loved Disney and Pocahontas. Now, that is all about creating magic. And now I've been able to weave those things all into all of the things that I do into my daily life. But I think that part of why I also got lost is because I'm now on an unconventional path. I decided to do a more traditional career, becoming a lawyer, without taking into account who I am, what I value, and what I need in life to be okay. And of course, to be honest, I was 17 when I had to decide a career path, so it's no surprise that I didn't know. But that is also not what we learn in school, right? To turn within and to really have to focus on what it is that makes you unique. You are supposed to, choose from this palette. And nowadays there is even more to choose from than when I had to pick my study choice. It makes me sound really, really old. But I had to choose my studies before there was the thing that is now social media, for example. So it was all more the traditional path. But that was not really aligned with who I am, or really not, I probably should say. So yeah, my purpose brought me to an unconventional path. And maybe that is also something that your soul is longing for. But as long as you try to push a square through a circle, you will only spend your lifetime fighting against yourself. So what if you stop fighting? What if you stop trying to be someone who you're not? And what if you start acknowledging what it is that you truly long for? What do you need on a soul level to feel meaningful and fulfilled? Now, maybe when you are able to answer these questions, that will already bring you closer to your soul purpose. And otherwise, I'm now going to share a couple of things that you can start to ponder upon that are also going to help you. Because the first thing that really is going to help you to remember your soul purpose is connecting to your soul. As I said, your soul knows why you are here. You just need to remember. So spending time with your soul on a regular basis, quiet down the mind, journey to the heart of the soul so you can become familiar with the whispers of your soul. You can go into a conversation with the soul is really, really important. This is going to help you to distinguish your own thoughts, expectations from others, and your inner guidance. And that is going to help you to get closer to why you are here. Now, having said that, often the knowledge of what our soul purpose is also blocked. I call these soul blocks. These can be limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, and even traumas. Knowing your soul purpose is also one thing, but then having the courage to transform your life so you can also live it is something else. And these soul blocks can stop you from, recognizing why you are here, but then even when you know it, they can also stop you from actually doing those things. So start taking the time to discover what it is that is blocking you the most from knowing what you are meant to do in this lifetime. And then do all that you need to do to transform those beliefs, to heal the wounds, to restore the lost parts of your soul so you can remember your soul purpose. The other thing that is really important is that you know who you are, because you are you for a reason. And when you know who you are, the puzzle pieces to what your soul purpose is are so much closer. It's so much easier to make that puzzle. So really start spending time with yourself and getting to know yourself. And don't think, oh, Haley, I'm sure I already know this because I've been with myself my entire life. Well, even if you think that you do, try it again. Get to know yourself even more. And some things that it can help you is reflecting on your likes, your dislikes, and your values. You can also reflect on the things that you loved as a child. As I said, I loved Disney, I loved opera, I loved the things of the soul. And now it all makes sense. So maybe there are also hidden gems when you look back at your childhood and what it is that you loved, especially those things that made you quirky and different. Zoom into those parts especially. In your current day, also be aware of what it is that you love. What makes you joyful? What gets you excited? What makes you lose track of time? Then those are the things that you love. But then also start focusing on what is it that breaks your heart. Often our purpose is also linked to the things that we deeply care about or that we wish to change. This ties into your values and the things that are important to you on a soul level. So what injustice or problem in the world are you drawn to solve? And remember, it doesn't have to be really big. It can also be on a small scale in your daily life for the people who are close to you. And then also ask the people around you what they think that your biggest strengths are. First, explore yourself. First, give it your thought yourself, but then also ask others. Not to place your power in their hands, but you cannot not always see what it is that other people see in you. And I can tell you, it can be really beautiful to hear all of those beautiful things that the people around you will share about, how they see you. So those are some little things that can help you to get closer to what your soul purpose is. And as I said, my clients often then say, oh, I knew that this was it. But then also, to be fully honest, the next thing that often comes up is, but this is not a thing. How am I going to do this? In my soul purpose revelation, I got that it was I am meant to awaken people from oblivion. What the hell does that mean? So don't get stuck in that. That is really one part. And your soul purpose, your mission, it needs to feel true to you. And then the next step is that you can start to discover how can you bring that to life in a way that aligns with you, that matches with the things that you're good at and that you actually want to create in your life. So it's knowing the mission, then translating it into how you want to put it into action. And then, of course, the next thing is to actually also do it. To not let that opportunity and with that your potential pass you by, because you're not going to take the chance on yourself. And it is really about taking that gaze forward. And what if you are in the last days of your life and you reflect back and you've never tried to do the thing that you really wanted to do. In your entire life, you just felt unfulfilled and you continued to search, or maybe not even search because you just settled for what there was because you once chosen a path and you felt stuck. Maybe you don't have to get that far. Maybe in your today, you can already make those changes. And it doesn't mean that you have to turn around your entire life immediately, maybe not even at all. Maybe knowing what your soul purpose is will help you to show up with more fulfillment in your life just as it is, in your relationships, in your work, in your health, in your finances. Maybe knowing that is already going to be enough. Maybe it will inspire you to make some changes. Take it one step at a time. So I hope that this has helped you and that this has helped you realize that your soul purpose, the knowledge of what that is so close to you. So take the time to get to know yourself, spend time with your soul, clear what you need to clear, and figure it out. And then I really would love to hear from you which of these steps resonated the most with you. And feel free to reach out on social media or send me an email. I would love to hear from you. And if there are any topics that you would want me to speak about, also feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to whisper in your ear about things that you truly care about. So I want to thank you again for tuning in today. And I cannot wait to talk to you again in the next episode. Bye. You listened to the podcast Whispers of a Soul Shaman with Haley Noah. I hope today's episode inspired you to look within and reconnect to your soul's wisdom. Remember, the answers that you are longing for are already within you. If you liked today's episode, it would mean a lot if you want to subscribe, leave a review, or share this episode with someone who might need these whispers too. And until next time, keep listening to the wise whispers of your soul.